Well, hello everyone, and welcome to our latest webcast that we're bringing you from Travel Weekly. And this one's a very special one. You'll see I'm not in my son's bedroom for once. I'm actually on the beautiful French Riviera, and I am joined, I'm absolutely delighted to say, by Clerc, who is the president of Four Seasons Hotels and Resorts, and by Larry Pimentel, who many of you will know, but he's in a new role, just announced, as CEO of Four Seasons Yachts. A brand new concept. We heard all about it last night, gentlemen. Very exciting. But Christian, let's start with you. Why did Four Seasons want to start this new adventure?
Well, Four Seasons for the past 60 years have been focusing on creating exceptional experiences around the world. And people, our guests, trust the brand to help them discover the world, travel with us, and do it in a way that meets their lifestyle. And what they're looking for is truly authentic, curated, exceptional experiences. And so we've been doing this on land for a long time, for 60 years. And we're lucky to be the leader in luxury hospitality travel today. And you might remember that a few years ago, we introduced Four Seasons Yacht.
Yep.
And it started as a fun project, and it really captured people's imagination, the idea of being in the hands of Four Seasons for 3 weeks, end to end. And so building on that, we felt that the next logical frontier for us was literally to take this incredible success story on the water. So, take the Four Seasons experience on water. And we're lucky to be partnered with Larry and Mark Henry Holdings because we needed to find the best possible partners. For us, it's not a matter of speed or volume or quantity, it's a matter of quality. And in order to start a new venture in a space that is new for us, we needed to partner with best-in-class partners. And Larry Pimentel, and with the experience that he brings, and the years of not only operating in the cruising industry, but at the very high end, setting new standards for quality and excellence. I think we couldn't have picked a better partner to be able to together launch this incredibly exciting project.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm going to come on to all of the details with you in a minute, Larry. But when you say it was like you wanted this new frontier, why not take it onto the seas? Was it something that your guests had asked you for? Did you do some research? Did they say, we'd love you, Four Seasons, to offer a cruise product? Or how did that sort of come about? I know it's a nice new thing to do, but...
I think our guests always look to be surprised and delighted. And so it was less about what our guests told us. It was more about how can we provide an experience that is going to be fresh, new, that builds on this idea of excellence in everything that we do, but transports them into a new dimension. And for us, what's amazing with these ships and this Four Seasons Yacht that we're going to be able to, of course, unlike a hotel, in a yacht, you're always in great weather because you're always following the seasons and you go where the great weather is. So it's like having a hotel, the most beautiful hotel that's ever been built, always in the perfect place at the perfect time. Yeah. And of course, because of our wonderful portfolio of incredible properties around the world, Larry and I will have the great fortune to be able to leverage the expertise of each one of those hotels, like here in Cap Ferrat where we are. So imagine that if one of the cruises takes us to Nice or Monaco, there's logical synergies that are created with all of our hotels.
And presumably you could tie in the private jets as well and create a whole journey.
Well, that's the idea, right? How do we create, how do we interact between these experiences? I mean, we have, if you think about our hotels and resorts, our residences, we have the Four Seasons Jet. We have also, we are the largest operator of luxury restaurants and bars around the world, right? We have 550 restaurants and bars. And so all these dimensions can really interact with each other. And so in terms of offering, I think Larry and I will have fun, and our teams, of course, in ensuring that, the best that Four Seasons has to offer is available to anybody who decides to go on a journey with us on the Four Seasons Yacht.
Okay, well, you talk about the best excellence. Let's bring Larry in. You've worked for lots of luxury cruise lines, but this one, you said yesterday, was in a new niche and a niche for one. It was a standout, on its own. So tell us why that is.
Well, it starts with leadership right here. The Four Seasons has been a leader in quality, in guest experience, second to no one. So to bring the Four Seasons tree to the sea is a unique opportunity for these guests to experience the world in unique ways. This will be the first Four Seasons product that will be able to move to many countries. So while they have 124 properties, we're going to add a lot of countries to this portfolio. And as Christian rightfully said, we're going to be able to connect to these beautiful properties that already exist with the skill and the set that's here. The passion of the people is just a big part of Four Seasons. And so for me, in my career at this point, I thought it was a pretty big deal with Queen Mary II. Yes. This, to me, is even bigger. So I feel very fortunate to be working with people like this and his colleagues, because they could have picked a lot of people, and I just feel fortunate to be the guy that was here.
So it's a great partnership, but of course there's another very important player in this relationship, and that of course is the shipbuilders. So you've got Fincantieri, who are, and you've pushed them, haven't you, Larry? I mean, some of these designs we saw a little bit last night. I want you to just talk us through. I know there's lots to go through, but some of the things are very different, never been seen before on a cruise ship. So perhaps talk us through some of these things that make Four Seasons Yacht so unique.
Well, I'm very appreciative of the question, because it always takes a village to build things. It's never one person. It's a lot of different people with lots of different concepts. And we wanted to create something that was distinctly different and unique. And Fincantieri looked at the concept of the design, and they didn't speak about how difficult or challenging it was, but they said, let us study this and see if we can do it. And I walked into a room and there's 21 engineers. And I articulated the project with the team, and their excitement was overwhelming. So we've achieved some things that have never been done at sea. I'll give you a few examples of that. A transverse, meaning across the ship, marina. It's 27 meters, but it means we have two marinas. Yeah. Now you can look at any yacht in the world and you're not going to find two marinas. You can look at any cruise ship in the world and you're not going to find two marinas. So just to explain,
if you don't, a marina would be at the back where you can go off and do water sports, etc. But
this is midships, right?
Okay.
And so what happens is it opens on both sides, and you have this glorious marina so that we can have water sports and aqua equipment, so the guests can experience the beautiful waterways of the world. And then the opposite side, the magnificence of the tenders coming in and out, but not disrupting the guest. Yeah. Also, that marina gate can open at night, and it can be a restaurant for 24. A very exclusive sitting. And I can imagine even world matches that will be played. The people are going to want to be in the marina with that huge screen, that all of a sudden they can be in this glorious place as they're looking at the south of France or Capri or wherever it happens to be. I just think is unique. Another thing that is unique is the beautiful magnificence of the Four Seasons logo that says Yachts. They have wonderful hotels, wonderful resorts, and as Christian mentioned earlier, the private jet experience around the world. This is augmenting the totality of the experiences. And in this case, we wanted this to be a yacht. So this will be one of the first vessels you'll see at 33,000 gross tons that has what we call a fashion plate. Now the fashion plate behind it, when you open it up, has all the safety equipment. Normally that's orange, and there's protocols, yellow,
doesn't look as nice.
And doesn't look as nice. So we were sensitive about every detail. Yeah. And of course, as you know, the protocols are that has to work even if there wouldn't be any electricity. So we've had to go through with the engineering staff to not only create it, but to present it to the Classification Society which is looking at the rules of safety. Nothing is more important than safety at sea.
Yeah.
And as you know, that's just a part of maritime law. It's called safety of life at sea. And that's the critical element that all the officers and all the crew will be very, very well trained in.
Yeah, yeah, okay. And Chris, I'm going to come on to you in a minute, but just one more thing. I thought last night was very interesting about the vertical connections that you can do between the accommodations. So just talk to us about that, because that, again, is something I'd not heard of.
Well, connectivity was a major feature at Four Seasons. Looking at and being a Four Seasons fan and going there with my wife is sort of as you wish. And it's not going to be anything other than that at sea. And in this particular creation, we've created, first of all, the funnel of the ship, which is all glass to the sea, which is magnificent. You're talking about 9,800 square feet between indoor and outdoor. There's no space like it at sea on any yacht, on any vessel. It's magnificent, but we decided to go a step further, and this is also an engineering feat, because we're going down, there's a floor that actually opens, there's a circular staircase that goes down to the next level with another grand suite, and in case you happen to have more family and friends, you can connect another 3-bedroom unit to that.
Yeah.
So you can start getting at above 11, 12,000 square feet. I mean, this is extraordinary. And the ship is designed, it has 95 ultra staterooms, but it's a bit like an accordion. The guests can open it up, so it can go down to 65, meaning that you can bring the multi-generational family, all your friends, and one deck is an entire villa at sea.
Nice.
These are extraordinary things that will come with this new Four Seasons yacht at sea.
I loved your phrase, as you wish, when you refer to Four Seasons. And Christian, yesterday in the press conference, you talked about being able to offer the most bespoke, tailored offering at sea. Lots of luxury cruise lines will say they do that already. So how are you going to take that to the next level?
Well, look, I think we're very fortunate that because of the fact that we have, as Larry said, 95 cabins that can go down to 65, we will be, this is a 207-meter yacht with maximum 200 passengers. And so what we can do there in terms of the low density, 11 restaurants and bar outlets. I think you could be 2 weeks on a 2-week journey and never have the same dining experience again. So I think there are so many dimensions. The other thing that we're going to do is, I think in the traditional cruising world, you kind of have to pick your experiences in advance. You're told that, you have to pick this and that and where you want to have dinner. Yeah. Who knows what you'd like to have 3 weeks or 4 weeks from now, or 3 months or 4 months from now. I think that what this allows us to do both on the ship and on shore is to truly tailor every experience. So, it's okay if you don't know where you want to have dinner tonight, because we'll have enough seats to make sure that if you feel like you want to go to our Mediterranean restaurant or just have champagne and caviar at the champagne and caviar bar, it's okay.
Yeah.
Same thing with shore
So more
experiences.
Spontaneous. You don't have to plan it so much.
That's exactly right. Same thing if tomorrow you don't want to go to shore or in a shore experience at 10 o'clock, you want to go later. Or, by the way, you want to go see, you're in Athens and you want to go see, you have a longtime friend there, you can go see your friend, and then we'll organize maybe a private a tour of the Acropolis, and then you'll have dinner somewhere. But you'll have your own transportation, you'll have your own guide. Right. It's all going to be tailored for your needs, and not anything that, and you can change your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how important, because I know, Larry, you talked about one of the key USPs is that this yacht is going to have Four Seasons staff or crew on it. That you were saying that's really crucial. That's really sets things apart, I guess, in delivering what Christian's
it's one of the
talking
biggest differentiators. I mean, you can have we're here at the super mega yacht show in Monte Carlo, and you see some of the world's most beautiful yachts, but they don't have Four Seasons staff. They don't have Four Seasons elegant standards. When you walk into these accommodations, it is going to look like the most refined Four Seasons hotel.
So will you train new people to work on this yacht, or will you take people who've worked in the hotels and then put them at sea?
We're going to, so an important part of this is not a franchise.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the staff that will be on the ship is Four Seasons. It's a Four Seasons team.
Yeah.
And of course, there will be Four Seasons employees. Some will come from our existing hotels, some will recruit, but they will all be Four Seasons trained. And the management team will be Four Seasons, and the whole guest experience delivery will be done by Four Seasons, of course, in partnership with Larry. So I think what we're going to focus on is to make sure that we bring the best of our combined experiences to deliver a Four Seasons experience on water that is very much parallel to what you'd expect on land. In many ways will be even superior because of all that we just described. And so that's a very important point of differentiation from many other projects you've heard about, many high-profile projects.
Yes, well, that was going to be one of my questions, because there are other luxury hotel chains entering the cruise market, albeit delayed with their shipbuilding, as we know. But you have got other competitors, but I know you've said, I think you actually said no competitive contender in this space.
Well, and frankly, I think we're not worried about what other people are doing. I think what we've created something that is so unique, so special. And you heard Larry describe the features. There are many more. I can assure you that this is a very short list, but there are many more. And so for us, it's about, we're competing with ourselves. We want to be the best that we can be. And, it's a big world. There's enough experiences for everyone. What we want to be is the most special, authentic, and unique, create the most unique experiences in the world. And I think that this partnership is going to allow us to do this and to be proud. Four Seasons doesn't get to have a second chance. When we put our brand onto something, the first one has to be exceptional. Like, we don't get to say, well, maybe the second one or third one. Yeah. Like, the bar is so high. And so for us, we've taken a long time. We've been planning for a long time. And we did not want to announce this until we had the right partner. We had the right designers. We had the right builders, the shipyards. Yeah. And now that this team is built, we're confident that we're going to deliver the first ship at the level of quality you expect from Four Seasons, on time, right? And that it will exceed our guests' expectations. And ultimately, that's the bar we set for ourselves. It's not what other people do. Yeah. It's what our guests, our ambassadors, our fans expect from this brand that they trust.
Yeah. And you mentioned it'll be on time. So the timings are, Larry, you told us last night, November 2025 for the first one, and then another one the following November, and the third one the November after that.
That's correct.
So
it starts in 25, and 3 years in a row, we'll have a ship that comes out.
And those
at the
three
end of
will be
November.
identical. You may tweak them, I guess, or different restaurants on board.
Well, what
but
happens
design-wise,
is
they'll be the same.
They'll be the same. The hull will be the same. But once you get a ship in service, one of the things you observe is you go back to the hospitality crew and to the guest, and you always refine things, right? So ship 2 will be a refinement of 1. Ship 3 will be a refinement. You finally get to a stage where you've made the refinements. But until a ship gets into service, you don't know. I want to make another comment. Yachts cruise, and this one will cruise, but it's not a cruise line.
Well, you said something like it's small by cruise ship standards, big by yacht standards. So it's sort of somewhere in the middle, I guess, but maybe that's your intention.
That's the objective, is to create a niche that would be distinctively different from anybody else. Yeah. We never sought out to be the same, nor are we set out to look. I mean, there's going to be products that are out there. We're setting our own sail. So we're not following, we're leading.
And you're not avoiding the word cruise. I mean, it's obviously not in the branding, but it's not something, you're happy for people to know this is a cruise offering.
I think it's more yacht than cruise because of the private space. Yeah. When you consider 95 staterooms and 33,000 gross tons, I mean, this is an enormous amount of staterooms. And when you look at the inside of the vessel, it's going to feel residential. It's going to feel like it's at home. Yes. It's not going to feel institutional. In fact, we did a lot on the design when you walk in the ship so that it feels in its own way like a residence, and you have arrived at a Four Seasons vessel. It won't have an institutional feel in any way, shape, or form. The public areas are grand. We have the great designers led by Prosper Osseline as the lead designer. We have Martin Brzezinski of London. who's done some world-class designs in the public areas, along with Tilburg, who's the lead architect. And I think the combination of all of those people with Fincantieri, think of Fincantieri as the largest shipbuilder in the world in the passenger shipping space, the largest luxury builder, and the second largest yacht builder. So even with their skill sets, we're taking the marine and technical plans of a ship, but adding the yacht features that the guests will see when they enter the ship and when they experience it.
And you sorry, just on the Fincantieri relationship, you said it was actually going to go on for 15 years, and you said there'd be other classes beyond this first class that we have seen a little bit of, today. So will you go into adventure? Will you go bigger? Will you go into sort of ice class kind of
That's
vessels?
another press conference you're going to come to. You'll see in due time.
Okay.
But let me just say, the world has 3/4 water.
Yeah.
One vessel with 95 is going to fill. People better book it very, very early. And number 2 and number 3 is still not a lot of inventory when you look at the world. And there's a lot of places to place a vessel.
Okay. All right. So watch this space.
Yes.
More coming.
Yeah,
okay.
more coming.
Sorry, Christian, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. I was going to build on the whole yacht versus cruise conversation. I agree with Larry completely. It's more a yacht than it is a cruise liner. But I think to that point, I think a lot of our guests will come from people who charter private yachts today in the Mediterranean. I don't think, that's, as Larry described, when you can take an entire deck or half a deck and make it multi-generational families, that's exactly what you would get on a private yacht. And you have the privacy of your quarters with the Four Seasons level service. Because, the issue with chartering a yacht, of course, is that the yacht is always going to be beautiful. But the service levels, the quality of the food that you get on the yacht depends on who operates. And sometimes you have 12, 14 crew members. It means it's not always consistent. Well, if you come to the Four Seasons Yacht, you'll know that you'll get the best of both worlds. So I think that's an interesting parallel.
And I think I should comment on that too, because consistency of this product is a reason that many people will go there. But Christian's point is so well taken. When we did our research with Ernst & Young to look at the total addressable market, and they began to look at subsets of travelers who would be on this, one of the people at the top were people who owned yachts. And then you're thinking, well, okay, why? Well, Four Seasons is on number 1, but their own private yacht, when they're having that 50th birthday party, has 6 staterooms. It can't accommodate all the family and friends they want. We are an ideal solution for which they have very little energy they have to put into it, because it's well thought out by the Four Seasons teams who are operating on the ship, the hotel plant, but not only the hotel plant, what's happening on land. Yeah. And you've heard Christian use the word experience. This is a journey like no other. This is a journey that people will want to come back, and they're going to try one destination and say, geez, when we get a ship in Asia, in Orient, in Australia, New Zealand, all these wonderful places we can go to, it's just endless. And that's why I say it's going to be 15 years plus with this yard. Yeah. And they have promised to create an on-time ship and the world's best. Okay. And they're very passionate about this.
And actually, we heard last night, it's starting in the Mediterranean and the Caribbean, following the sun, but you've talked about many other destinations that future ships could go to.
I was going to point out, we have, as you know, we talked about the Four Seasons Jet earlier. Four Seasons Jet is 48 seats, those are on the world. The next 6 are completely sold out. We have 30% repeat customers at that price point. You can go check out what the price point is for the Four Seasons Jet. And I think we'll have a very similar pattern. Yes. I think your biggest problem we're going to have is there just aren't enough.
Our phones are going to be ringing saying, Christian, Larry, can you get space?
So it goes on sale, I think you said, towards the end of next year, 2023. Yes. How will you manage that initially if this huge demand? Will you have a wait list? Will you go out to your Four Seasons loyal customers first? Will they get first dibs on it, or how will you?
Listen, you have to go to the people who've been loyal to your brand and supported your brand. Everybody does that. Yeah. That's a practical thing to do, and they have an amazing group of very passionate elite followers who love the brand, love its deliverable. And by the way, these are not cruisers in the traditional sense, but they are Four Seasons clients, and as a result, they're going to want to go with the Four Seasons staff at sea wherever we may go. And I think they're going to be as passionate about this product on sea as they are about the land product.
And can we mention the dirty word of price? I mean, just to give people an idea what it might, I know it's difficult because there'll be different length of sailings and stuff, but
I think you can expect.
You know how much you've spent? I mean, 4.2 million on each stateroom.
Yeah.
So that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
What are people going to
I think you can expect it to be priced as one of the greatest experience on the planet. And again, I think the Four Seasons Jet might be an indication. It's too early to talk about pricing, but you think about 95 cabins, this kind of product, the demand is going to be huge, will be something that, is priceless. And so it will be priced as one of the greatest expenses on the planet.
Yeah, and I want to talk about price because I've talked about this to your audiences many, many years. This is not about discounts. This is about what counts. Okay, and to people who are giving their precious time, this is priceless. The price point will equal the quality and the style, not only from the design and the delivery and the cost, but the quality of the staff who's delivering on unparalleled service. This is not about anything that's average by any far stretch of the imagination. This is just a standard second to no one. And that's why I've said from the very beginning, this hotel group is in a class by itself. We're just taking that to sea.
Yeah. Now, I know we've talked about who this will be for. In the traditional sort of luxury cruise world, I think it's something like 9 out of every 10 luxury cruises that are bought through a travel advisor. Obviously, you've got a big, database of loyal guests. You've got yacht owners, so you're not going to be as dependent, I imagine, on the trade. But how critical will the travel agents be in selling this product?
Well, let me
Larry?
say that the person who drives this is the buyer. They take the choice. We're going to have travel agents who will certainly be a part of this. We're going to have yacht brokers. They're going to be a part of this because the vessel is going to be charterable, and that's a special niche. We found in the analysis there are going to be family offices handling multi-generational families. So there's lots of different outputs here. And I think this is an extraordinary client who has extraordinary people serve them, some of which are travel agents. But no, it's not going to be the standard product that the industry has seen because the industry has been led by discounts. Yeah. We're not playing that way. This product is not going to be discounted.
Yeah, but we both know, Larry, there are travel agents out there who have clients who will buy this.
And in fact...
And I know one of your mantras has always been to not focus on the price, don't be frightened of the price. There are people out there who want this.
As there are for private jets, as there are for private villas.
Huge.
And by the way, I mean, he can speak to this more than I can, but during and after the pandemic, the private accommodations at hotels were sought after, villas, etc.
And let me say that at Four Seasons, the travel industry, our travel industry partners are extremely important to us. And so, of course, you can expect that, we have long partnerships with wonderful travel partners who seek for their clients the best that's out there. Yeah. And I'm sure that will be translated into
and will your sales team on the hotel side be also selling and talking to travel agents about the yacht product, or will you have a separate team?
The sales team will be based in Miami, where Larry's offices are going to be, and our team. And you can expect there will be synergies, right? But it's a very specialized sales force, which will be based in Miami. But there will be many ways that you can get to the brand. I mean, our website will be featuring the yacht. There'll be many channels in which you can book. I think ultimately, though, when you book a product that is so sophisticated and special, you're going to want to talk to the experts. And these experts will be based in Miami and will be able to, sell the dream.
Okay. All right. Well, what a great place to end it on. It has been a dream to be here with you. It's so exciting. The buzz last night was amazing. We wish you the very best of luck. I know Larry said you're going to come to London. Tell us a bit more. There's going to be more sort of revealed, isn't there?
We're going to reveal things about the accommodations. Yeah. We're going to be revealing things about the food and beverage and extraordinary chefs and experiences that are on the vessel. We're going to reveal some things about the environment, how we're going to take care of it. We want to make sure that every destination we go to, we leave better than when we arrive. Yes. And that will be a philosophy as we walk through it. take care of the earth and the waterways that we're
Yes,
on.
you're looking at batteries, you're looking at
Exactly.
methane power, so actually you really are making sure this is sustainable as well.
Entirely.
Okay, all right, well, we wish you all the best. I'm so grateful
Thank you
for your
so
time.
much, Lisa.
Thank
See
you.
you soon.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you.